Love has always been the most mysterious force in the world. It has the power to break every rule, to ignore every boundary, and to connect two souls who never should have found each other. We like to think we know what love looks like, two people who share the same culture, the same world, the same story. But sometimes love appears where no one expects it, between opposites, between the powerful and the fragile, between the feared and the misunderstood. He was seen as a beast, vast, overwhelming, impossible to ignore. To the world, he was danger itself, something to be controlled, caged, or destroyed. She, by contrast, was fragile and small, a fleeting presence in a vast and merciless world. By all logic, they had nothing in common. Their story should have ended the moment it began, with fear, with distance, with silence. But that is not what happened. At first, there was terror. She looked at him and saw a monster, and he looked at her and saw something he did not understand. Fear hung between them like a wall. Yet walls have cracks, and through those cracks, something new began to bloom. Curiosity replaced fear. And then, slowly, trust began to grow. He stopped being the nightmare she imagined, and she stopped being the fragile prisoner he had taken. They began to see each other for what they truly were, two lonely beings in search of connection. Their love was never built on words. Words were useless, too small, too fragile to carry what they felt. Instead, their language was silence, glances, and touch. The way he shielded her from danger, the way her presence calmed the storm inside him. A love unspoken, yet impossible to deny. A love that lived not in declarations, but in actions. There were moments when the world faded away, when time itself seemed to stop. A quiet glance at sunset, a moment of laughter shared in the face of chaos, the warmth of her hand against his, reminding him that he was more than what others believed. These moments were fragile, fleeting, but they were everything. In them, they built a universe that belonged only to them, a universe where she was not afraid and he was not a monster. But the world is rarely kind to love it does not understand. To outsiders, he was still a beast, still a threat. They could not see what she saw. They could not understand the bond between them. And so their love became not only a refuge, but also a rebellion. Every embrace, every kiss, every act of closeness was an act of defiance against a world that insisted they should remain apart. And yet, even surrounded by hostility, they found beauty. They found tenderness. In his strength, she found safety. In her fragility, he found purpose. Together, they discovered that love is not about similarity, but about recognition. To be seen truly, without fear, without disguise, is perhaps the rarest gift one soul can give to another. Still, the shadow of tragedy lingered. Love, after all, is not always enough to protect against the cruelty of the world. For every kiss, there was the risk of loss. For every embrace, the knowledge that their time together was fragile, temporary, borrowed. But maybe that is what made it so powerful. Knowing the ending was inevitable made every moment more precious. Every glance became eternal, every touch unforgettable, every kiss a defiance of time itself. Their love was not conventional. It would never be celebrated by crowds or written into laws. But in its strangeness lay its beauty. Because love, real love, does not need permission. It does not need explanation. It only needs two hearts willing to see each other for what they truly are. And so, when the world tried to separate them, when fear and greed and judgment rose against them, their bond only grew stronger. She did not see a beast. He did not see fragility. They saw each other, entirely, completely. And in that mutual recognition, they found the kind of love that poets try to capture and fail, the kind of love that legends are built on. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson hidden in their story, that love is not about perfection, nor about what the world approves of. It is about connection, about empathy, about finding another soul who makes you feel less alone in a world that so often feels unbearable. In the end, their story was both beautiful and tragic. Beautiful because they discovered each other in a universe determined to keep them apart. Tragic because the world could never understand what they had, and so it was doomed to slip away. But even tragedy cannot erase what was real. The kisses they shared, the moments of peace, the silent promises, these will live forever because they were true. If this story moved you, share it with someone who believes in love against all odds. And if you want to see more stories told through a different lens, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your thoughts, and join me again for the next journey. Because sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones we tell together.